blessed people. Welcome back to another video with your boy Sentenced to Life. Sentenced to life because I'm saved by Jesus Christ, man. Hey, let's talk about dash cams. Let's talk about them dash cams in them trucks, man. You know, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons to it. Now, there are many companies out here in this industry that already have dash cam and they had them for a while. But there's a lot of companies that are now catching up to getting dash cams in their vehicles. It's becoming an industry norm. It's becoming an industry norm with these dash cams, man. Whether it be outward facing only or inward facing and outward facing cameras. I've been with companies who've had both. They've had only outward and they've had inward and outward facing cameras. So I am accustomed to them, but I have just a little bit of an alt with the inward facing cameras because it could be very detrimental to a lot of drivers out here, you know, especially these veteran drivers and these new drivers. You know, veteran drivers, they'll say, you know, oh, I've been out here for 50 years, but all you got to do is mess up one time with these inward facing cameras. You know, you pick up that hamburger and get distracted or something, you know, you might not text like the newer drivers that are out here now, but you know, you can do anything and the company will let you go. I done seen many drivers who've been with companies for 8, 10, 15, 20, even 20 years and been terminated, you know, just by doing something that was against the policy, you know, so you got to be careful. But again, you know, right now, I think Prime has been a hot topic when it comes to dash cams, you know, because they are getting dash cams in all of their vehicles if they have not already. But they have outward facing and inward facing cameras in their vehicles. And what I understand is the cameras have AI, which can detect if you're wearing a seatbelt, if you have your phone in your hand, if you are tired or fatigued, any type of distracted driving, it detects it and it sends it back to the hub, you know, wherever that may be. But, you know, you can get in trouble and get fired. You know what I'm saying? It'll set you up. You know, it detects your speed. It detects lane departure. It detects your distance, collision warning distance. It does a lot of things. Cameras does a lot of things. And, you know, granted, it protects you as the driver. You know, if something happens and it's not your fault, it caught it on the camera and you can show that to the officer and hey, you're in the clear. Also, it helps the company on a legal standpoint. It helps them as well. You know, just in case the driver that was at fault, they can use the camera against them. You know, but you got to think, here's a con. If you did something wrong, you know, the company can use it against you. You see what I'm saying? So it's pros and cons to it. But you just have to be careful, man. If you got these dash cams, be careful. Outward or inward and outward cameras. You got to be careful either way. My company just installed cameras in their vehicles. Now, when I first started with the company, they've been talking about it. You know, they said, hey, eventually we're going to get cameras. But now my company has cameras. And we have a dash cam facing outward. We have a camera on the left side. And we have a camera on the right side of the vehicle. So it gets the sides, just in case somebody decide they want to side swipe me or I veer into the left or the right lane and I side swipe someone. It's all on camera, you know. So we don't have inward facing camera. Now that's one thing I am glad about, because when they was telling me, oh, we need you to bring the truck in because we're going to put a camera in, I was like, I don't know, man. If y'all put if it's an inward facing camera, I didn't ask the question. I was talking to myself. I was like, I don't know, because if they get an inward facing camera, I'll probably try to find somewhere else to go. But we only got outward facing cameras. which was a good thing. We only got outward facing cameras. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because I don't mind the inward facing camera, but you know, they be like, oh, it's not recording, but I don't trust that. I think it's still recorded. I think if something were to happen, that they could go back and pull that footage. Now, will my company do that? I don't know, but I'm not going to take that chance. So I'm so glad they only got outward facing cameras. Now, granted, there are a lot of drivers out here, especially a lot of these new drivers, who are very prone to distracted driving with their cell phones and these other different devices and things. But try not to be one of those drivers. Don't be one of those drivers. You know, do what you need to do to get that load to where it needs to go safely as possible. Now, I think my camera had only been installed 2 days before I ended up getting into an accident. My camera was installed for 2 whole days and I got in an accident. Check this out. All right, check out this accident that happened to me in Atlanta on my way to Kentucky. You're about to see the car come from the left side. Check this out real quick. Car came into my lane. I began to push the car down the road. The camera in the upper left corner, that's the left side of my truck. The one that's in the upper right, that's the right side of my truck. But as you can see, that car came all the way from the left side and got hit. So, and then hit the truck in the center lane, then it twisted around and ran into my truck. And so at that point, that's when I hit the truck. Now he's about to pull off. I thought he was about to run off, but he stayed. Now, as you can see from the video, good thing I had that camera. Even though it still would have been, after the officers had done their investigation, it would not have been my fault. You can tell that from the video. However, still, I'm glad we had the cameras because it covered me in a tremendous way. So it's good to have dash cams. You know, and the company, they really praised me on how I controlled the vehicle when that accident did happen. Although I have never had a safety department call me and tell me, you know, oh, you did such a good job. We appreciate you. We did it. You know, we're so glad you're safe and all these good things. All this different praise that they did. And I appreciate my company for that, you know, but I'm just glad that it didn't go another way, you know. But although the guy that caused the accident, he ended up getting arrested. I'm not sure why, but he ended up getting arrested and going to jail. Not sure exactly why, but that's on him. But he caused the accident. It could have been worse. I could have rolled on top of him. I could have pushed him over into the ditch. He could have flipped. So many different things could have happened. But I'm glad we have the dash cam because it protects me and it protects the company. You know, the company is looking out for both persons, themselves and their driver. You see what I'm saying? But again, like I said, the cameras can be a pro and it could be a con. It can work against you or it can work for you. It all depends on the driver behind the wheel. What are you doing behind the wheel? If you're not doing nothing wrong and you're doing what you're supposed to do behind that wheel, hey, it's all good. But my only issue is if it's an inward facing camera, you know, because there was a guy that's going around on TikTok. He was fired for the inward facing camera. He was on his 10-hour break. He had a young lady come to his truck, which I think it was his girlfriend or somebody like that. And they were having relations. And it was on camera. So I guess safety or somebody from their department called and said, hey, we got to terminate you. The man was on a 10-hour break. I guess the camera was still rolling. Now, I do know some of these cameras are sensitive. Because I worked with a company before that if the truck shaked in a certain way, you know, the camera would begin recording. You know, just like if you were parked and somebody hit the vehicle, it'll begin recording that incident that happened. So maybe him and his girl was in the back having relations and it was shaking the truck so much to where the camera was set off. However, even if that was the case, he still shouldn't have got fired. But anyways, he got fired. But so that's my issue with the inward facing camera. What if I'm having personal time in my vehicle or, you know, I'm parked and I'm just chilling and I want to lounge around, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in my birthday suit or something like that. You got the camera, you watching me. You see, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable. So, but that's one thing I love about my company. They did get cameras. I'm okay with it, totally 100%, because I was thinking I might have to get another job because I don't know about this inward-facing cameras. But they did not get inward-facing camera. They only got outward-facing cameras, so they protect our privacy, and I'm glad that they took that into consideration. Also, on these cameras that we have, there's a blue button on the camera, you know, and you can hit that button to record things that won't normally get recorded. Like I say, if something happened, you're parked and another truck in front of you got hit by another truck or something like that, and you just wanted to hit the button to record it, to capture it, you can just hit the blue button to capture it. If you got cut off by a vehicle and you had to slam on your brakes and you know, you just wanted to record it and make sure it got recorded, you can just hit the blue button. You know, different things like that. A deer ran out in front of you and you hit it or something, you can just hit that blue button for anything and it'll automatically start recording that incident that happened. I think it goes back a few seconds or minutes, seconds, and record back, and then it records going forward. I'm not really clear on exactly how it records, but nevertheless, it's a good device to have. It's something good to have in your truck. Like I said, a lot of companies either have them or they're getting the dash cam. So don't be alarmed if you get a dash cam in your vehicle. Now, if you get an inward facing camera, it's questionable. Like Prime, you know, they got these cameras. They're saying that if the red light is on, it's recording, but if it's green light, it's not recording. I don't know exactly how it works, but they say that it's not recording after a certain amount of time after you shut the vehicle off, but I'm not trusting it. I believe, you know, that you can still go back and pull that footage. So I rather an outward facing only. If you're going to have an inward facing, give me the option of covering it up, period, because I'm not trusting that inward facing camera. So if you get a camera in your vehicle, man, hey, it's pro and it's a con. It's good. Do the right thing. Don't do nothing crazy, as you should be doing even without the camera. But they will help you. They will save your life. Even when it comes down to legal action, the camera will be very vital to your case. Again, we have side cameras. We got one on the left, one on the right. They record the side. It records all the way down the trailer, and in that left lane and in that right lane. If something happens, a car coming to my lane, hit me or whatever, or I do opposite, it's got it on camera. Front facing dash cam is good. But be safe out here, and always keep your head on the swivel. Never, never, never be one of those drivers that is on that cell phone, holding that phone up, going down that road. Don't be that driver. Also, you got to remember, there are now cameras out here that have AI that DOT is using. If you've never seen them, I'm going to see if I can pull up a picture. If I can find a picture, I'm going to post it right up here so you can see. If you ever see this device on the road, that thing is taking a picture inside your truck as you are going down the highway. It'll be on the right shoulder because you're supposed to be in the right lane. Hello, a lot of truckers out there. You're supposed to be in the right lane. So it's going to be on the right shoulder. If you ever see it, keep it in mind. Keep both hands on that steering wheel while you are going down that road, because that AI camera is taking a picture inside of that truck and seeing if you got something in your hand. It's also seeing if you got your seatbelt on. And if you have a phone or some type of device in your hand, or you have that seatbelt off, it's going to take a picture and it's going to send it to the nearest officer, the nearest DOT officer, which is going to pull you over down the road. And they're going to be like, hey, I got you on camera with a cell phone in your hand, or I got you with no seatbelt on. I'm telling you, man, technology is getting more and more advanced. So be careful out here, drivers. Dash cams are coming to almost the whole industry in trucking. So be careful, do what you're supposed to do, and I'm telling you, it'll work out for you. All right, deuces.